everybody. So what is it that it takes for people to make a change stick? You know, we all set out with the right intentions. We go out strong, we're motivated, we're inspired. Whatever it was that happened in our lives, we've now become inspired to make a change. Yet, while we do start out full of steam, full speed ahead, excited and ready to take on the world, it isn't very long until we start to lose steam, till we start to kind of lose focus and fall off the wagon and generally fall right back where we started. So why is that? What is it that makes us not stick with the plan? But I think there's a lot of variables at stake. I mean, who hasn't looked at somebody and said, wow, they're so successful. Look at how lucky they are. Or, wow, they've really worked hard. Or, you know, we don't give enough credit to the work hard part. We really don't. We think, oh, they're lucky, they've got good genes, they were born that way, born into the right family, inherited a family business. Believe me, there's hundreds and thousands, probably millions of family businesses that went bankrupt as soon as they got handed down to the next generation. That's not what this is about. This is about being able to have a change in your life happen and to be able to stick through it right to the end. You know, some people are trying to lose weight and you start off strong, I lose 15, 20 pounds, and then right back where you started. Or you start a new project and you finish it about 40% through. You know, it's exciting at the beginning. Of course it's exciting at the beginning. It's new, it's fresh, it's wonderful. The next wave of awesome feelings that you're gonna have won't be all the way until the end, until you've hit your goal, until you've either finished the project or reached your goals or whatever it may be. So you get that wave and then there's a dip. And you have to work your way out of that dip. Because at the end of the dip, that's where that next good wave of feelings are. So unfortunately, because that dip can be so difficult, we often find ourselves just kind of doing this. Look familiar? And what we should be doing is taking it and riding it up. And a lot of you have heard me speak about the wedge and starting at the point of the wedge. And while I didn't think it was going to go there, watching my hand go in that motion, up, down, starting out strong, falling back down, starting out strong, falling back down. It's going to be hard every single time because it's a never-ending vicious cycle. So how about starting out strong, coming down, and then sticking it out through the dip? Because if you can make it through the dip, well, that's where the prize is. The prize is at the other end. Yeah, the prize is at the other point of the wedge, right? This point keeps taking you to the same place. And generally over time, it's going to get worse and worse and farther away from where you want to be. But this direction takes you in a whole new trajectory. So that's what we need to concentrate on. So when is it a dip that you should work through? And when is it a dip that you should walk away from? You know, not every difficulty in life is something you have to work through and persevere through. And some things are just difficult and they don't necessarily have a good ending in sight. So what we're talking about here is planning and actually making a change and sticking to it with the plan so that the actual end result can be achieved. I mean, imagine this. I mean, if anybody's ever out there has ever learned to play an instrument or maybe learn a new language, let's take an instrument for instance. You're sitting with your buddy and he's playing guitar and you ask him to teach you 2 or 3 chords. Before you know it, you got those 3 chords, E, G, D, and you're playing a little Neil Young, Heart of Gold or something simple and easy and feel like a star, and that's it. You put down the guitar. Now, does that make you a guitar player? Absolutely not. The person who goes back to that guitar the next day and practices that song again, and maybe adds a popping of the finger or maybe another 4th chord, or maybe goes out and downloads another song using those same chords just to get better at it, and then continues to tweak and tweak and tweak, little minuscule changes all throughout. By the end of the year, you're playing guitar. It's the same with learning a language. Once your brain turns on that function of learning, you learn those few words, and then your brain tunes into it, right? It actually starts hearing the words that you're needed to learn. Because in all languages, there's these little middle words, and we've heard people always miss out on them who are learning English as a new language. Or when I learned other language, I always missed the middle stuff, you know? I go to store. Well, that's actually not bad. Although it should be, I am going to the store. So it's those little intricate things that add up to the final results, right? A perfect grasp of a language. It's all the little changes all along the way. So your brain starts to tune into the words of that language. If you start learning Portuguese, You're not hearing Portuguese anywhere until you've actually learned a couple of those words. Once you've learned 2 words in Portuguese, well, guess what? You can start to recognize the accent and recognize the language, and then you start to pick up on new words, and you start growing and growing and growing because you've turned on that dial. You're accepting that new knowledge and you're running with it. You're not learning those 2 words in Portuguese and never thinking about them again. You're going to add a word and add a word and add a word, and then those words bring on multiple words because there's these joining up. This is how you learn a language. This is how you make a change in your life. You don't just decide to say, okay, today I'm going to lose weight, and you starve yourself, or you need to have a plan. And if you can lay out easily attainable goals and steps along the way, you can actually accomplish a lot. I mean, when you look ahead a year and say, I want to lose 100 pounds. I know lots of people who are trying to lose 100 pounds. And that's a massive number. I don't think 2 of my kids even weigh 100 pounds. But if you break it down into little steps, say, let's break it down by week. There's 52 weeks in a year. Let's say you mess up a couple of those weeks. You lose 2 pounds a week on average. That's not crazy. I mean, it's work and there's focus involved, but it's 2 pounds a week. And if you can continue on that path, that trajectory will bring you to 100 pounds of weight loss in a year. So we need to start breaking it all down and developing a plan. How am I going to lose that weight this week? Well, I know I'm not going to eat cookies before bed. I know I'm going to try to change my patterns. I have a client right now. She's wonderful. She's just taken it upon herself to convert a room in her basement as a safe zone. It's almost like a shelter for her, away from all of her bad influences and cravings. So she tends to like to watch TV at night, and before you know it, she's in the cupboards eating cookies and snacks, and it becomes this whole overindulgent experience that gets followed by a lot of guilt, and we've all been down that road. It's no fun. So she's actually taken some control over her life, and I'm really proud of her. She's got a room extra in the basement of her house. She went out and bought a couch and set up a TV with a nice new comforter, and she made it pretty and comfortable, and she created what she calls a woman cave. I told her she should call it a she. I don't know. I came up with a funnier name, but that's not the point. The point is, she's not allowing food inside this room. She's only allowed water, sparkling water, fruits, and vegetables. If it doesn't fall within those 4 descriptions, she doesn't allow it in the room. And I believe she's really going to stick to it because she's looking for tools to make a change. And while she's on programs and diet plans and she's got a lot of people supporting her, she's still having trouble getting over that 9 o'clock to midnight binge crave combination. So she's taken control over her life, and she set up a safety zone for herself. And I'm so impressed. She will sit there and she'll eat some grapes and some apples and oranges and whatever she brings in, and she'll drink a bunch of bubbly water so it'll fill her all up. And by the way, after she's done this for 4 or 5 days, by the end of the week, this is a habit now. She's comfortable. Her body starts to look forward to this. Because when you start eating healthy foods, your brain recognizes that it's getting nutrients that it so very much needs. And once your body recognizes where it can get these nutrients, well, it starts to have you craving for those things. Once you start eating fruits and vegetables and your body knows that's where it's getting its vitamins, and you're low on potassium, I promise you'll have a craving for a banana. It's just the way our bodies are meant to work. The messages are all there. We're just not reading them. We're not listening to them. We're not taking them under our own control. We're just kind of letting life happen. We're just letting it, hopefully everything will just work out. But damn, is it going to work out? It's not going to work out. We have to plan, and we have to set ourselves up for success. Because if we don't set up for success, then we're very likely going to fail. Because you need to know a few steps ahead. Like Wayne Gretzky knew the next 4 moves when he used to play hockey. Michael Jordan, same on the basketball court. These people are planning their next move. You've got to plan your next move. You can't wait till 4 o'clock in the afternoon and think, what am I going to make for dinner? You need to know exactly what's happening by that time so you don't make a rash decision. If you know you're going to be out for 2-3 hours, make sure you have a healthy snack in your car. A little made good granola bar or something that's not going to throw you over the edge. It's delicious, it'll satisfy your craving, and it'll get you to the next snack time or the next meal. Plan ahead. Set up a plan built with steps and levels so that you can feel accomplished as you make your way through it. Because if you have just one ultimate goal and you don't hit it, well, guess what? You feel like a failure, and you're ashamed and you're embarrassed, and it's really hard to get back up again. If you have little tiny steps along the way, well, you make it up 3 and then you fall down 1, you've still accomplished those 3, and go up 4 or 5 more and then you fall back another 1, but you're still in an upwards trajectory. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to create a long-lasting, permanent change that's easy and that's feasible, that can be managed and maintained without sacrificing too much. The way to do that is to plan step by step by step. Plan for your day, plan for your week, plan for your month. Find a grocery store you like and make a dedicated time to go grocery shopping. Try new foods and plan ahead what you're going to do with them. Wow, I saw a great recipe. It calls for turmeric. Go out, buy the turmeric, and make the recipe. Don't buy the turmeric and throw it in your cupboard. Plan ahead, experiment, change your habits, separate yourself from a situation. Anybody who's ever quit smoking knows hanging around smokers those first few weeks is not a license for success. It's a license for disaster. So you separate yourself from these people, if only temporarily, enough that you can turn that switch off where smoke now smells disgusting. And it happens. Eventually it happens. So it's the same with food, it's the same with lifestyle, it's the same with exercise. You just gotta start and make a plan. Tomorrow I'm gonna walk up and down the stairs 6 times. Great. Based on how I feel, the next day I'm gonna do it another 6 times. But if I did it in less than 3 minutes, I'll do it 7 times. Before you know it, you're running up and down the stairs like a monkey, and you're burning calories, and you're feeling good, and you're proud of yourself, because every day you set a new tiny accomplishment, and you hit that goal, and you surpass your overall expectations of what you thought you could do. Because how many of us have tried and failed so many times that while we do get excited and all fired up and pumped up for the next big project, in the back of our heads we're not sure we're going to finish it. It's enough of that. Let's break that mold. Let's make a change. Let's make a plan, and let's stick with it. I want everybody to think about how they're going to take this tip and use it in their life this week. And then next week, we can share a new step, a new trick. Start setting up the next step of the plan. I want you all to have success this week and feel good. Take advantage of the beautiful weather. We're outdoors, vitamin D, fresh air. This is what does a body good. This is what does a mind good. Stick with a plan, make the plan, and call me if you ever have problems. You know where to find me. Have a great day, everyone.